Hi everyone, it's Woman in Bitcoin again, and it's Wednesday. So my name is Tracy, Lewin, and
Mervanwe Smith.
how are you doing, Merv?
Good, Tracy. Thank you. It's a wonderful day today.
Oh yes, it's absolutely awesome. We had a bit of a hectic night last night. I'm staying with my family in Dubai, so not very much sleep. But you know what the really nice thing is? These two little girls this morning put on the radio and they started jiving to the music that was on the radio, and it was so cute. And I just thought, it's just lovely to have more young women in my life, and I know
Yes.
that you have too.
Yes, I do. I also have two little ones. One's 7 and the other one's 2, and they just bring such joy.
Yes, they absolutely do. So it's been a very good week for Bitcoin as usual. There's always a lot of exciting stuff happening, but let's primarily talk about being birds of a feather. We need to stick together, and and have a bit of fun.
Yes, we do. Fun, we should underline, because I think that what happens in our lives is we get so caught up, we get very serious. So fun is a very good thing. It's medicine to the soul.
Absolutely, and so is music. I mean, this morning, as I said, we had such a hectic night last night, and then when I went into my room, I put on my radio, and I started listening to music, and I also actually posted quite a number of songs, YouTube videos on my page, because I just thought, you know what, music is good for the soul. It's good for happiness. It just kind of releases stress and it releases pressure. So if you can actually, when you're feeling a bit miserable and you're feeling a bit down, the first thing you need to do is put on that radio or put on your favorite music and just start jiving, because moving gets the body feeling like we're alive, and we've got so much to be thankful for and so much to be grateful for.
That's so true. That just brought up another thought, actually, just a little tidbit, is that if you're struggling with a negative thought that you're trying to get rid of, if you sing a song, you can't think of that negativity. Did you know that? You
No,
can't
I
sing.
didn't.
Yeah, you can't sing and have a negative thought.
Yes.
So I just thought about that now. I've forgotten about that.
Well, you know what the other thing is? One of the tips, when somebody phones you, instead of picking up the phone and saying hello like that, have a smile on your face and say hello. And when you smile, your voice actually changes. Did you know that, Merv?
It does. It totally does. Yes.
So we're starting off with a bit of fun today, but let's
Oh,
go
yes.
to something that's really affecting so many women today. This is the way it is. No control over finances, job losses, divorce, death of a husband, family commitments. These are all the things that are stopping us and that are getting in the way of us controlling our finances. What do you think
Yeah.
about this, Merv? Have you got? I know that you've actually saying that you've been surrounded by a bit of this with people that you know, and how to deal with all these issues.
Some of the saddest things that I see in today's day, even in this modern age, is that women give up their total control to their husbands or the men in their life. So they will have nothing to do with the finances. They won't know how to open an account. They won't know how to write out a check. They've never had to balance their checkbooks, etc. And although you think that your husband or the man in your life is being so caring and loving by doing all of this for you, what actually happens is you give up your power. Because I've seen time and time again where that man loses his job, what happens? You're sort of stuck. What happens if you get divorced? All of a sudden, you now have to learn these skills, these life skills that you should have had already. And worse than the divorce is the death of a husband. It's heart wrenching. Not only do they have to deal with the sorrow and the grief of the death, but they also have to deal with, oh my God, I don't know anything about finances.
Mm.
I don't know what his bank account is. I don't know the passwords. I've never seen a bank statement. And so my view is that we should be teaching the young woman of today from a young age, even at school, how to open up banks or savings accounts, how to do the basic things where finances are concerned. And obviously this goes further than that, Tracy. You know,
Yes,
like, you know, when you get your own job, how do you deal with your finances, etc. But I think
exactly.
the worst part is where we give up control of what is rightfully ours. And even though it's done in a caring and a loving way, so we think at the end of the day, we're the losers.
Yes, I definitely agree with that. And also, sometimes if you are all of a sudden have got money and you need to do something about it, if you don't know or you need to control it, you don't know how to do it. And it's so important to make sure that you're not spending more than you need to spend. I mean, I've been in this
Yeah.
situation. I've been retrenched. I've been divorced. Well, I haven't lost a husband, but I lost a husband through the courts. But and I had to then bring up children, and you know what? It's very, very tricky. And
It
sometimes
is.
I think that we don't get the advice, we don't get the help, and the support that we actually need. And sometimes it's well, it needs to start when you're young. And I don't think that that kids are taught enough in school in terms of really looking after finances and that type of thing. I mean,
You're right.
I just know that I've made a lot of mistakes in my life, and the advice that I can give to people, I wish somebody told me.
Yeah. I I was going to tell you something. Oh, you know, and one of the things, not just finances, but just day-to-day life skills is, do you know how many women there are today that don't know how to drive, have never bothered to get a driver's license? And a friend of mine, her husband had to work in a city far from where she was, and she didn't drive. She was then found herself very stranded. So it's all these it's life skills really
Yes,
that we really should, as women, help women to get those basics.
most definitely, most definitely. And just going back to job losses, I mean, this happens all the time. Retrenchments
Mm,
are happening. You can't rely on a job these days. So
no.
getting yourself into earning multiple income streams. I mean, very, very important. Another thing where I completely failed. I was earning a very, very good salary in a corporate company. And it's coming up to 7 years ago, I actually left that position because I wanted to do my own thing, and I gave up a huge amount, and I've kind of suffered because of it, and I'm so sorry that I didn't think further than my nose, to actually start building multiple income streams. And I think also, back in the day when people used to get a job and stay there forever, those days are gone because
Yeah.
companies are you can't rely on the company to keep you going. You can't rely on the government to look after you either, and you can't rely on anybody else to look after you. So basically, it is up to you. And the sooner you
Mm.
actually come to that realization and make that decision to move forward in your life, the sooner you can get involved with such exciting things like Bitcoin.
Well, it's so true. You know, you put up a post yesterday about this very thing, where there's problems in Dubai, where you are right now, that there's been retrenchments, there's going to be more retrenchments. And I took that post and expanded it a bit and said, well, you know what? Robert Kiyosaki said that 2016, 2017 is going to be a period worse than the Great Depression.
Mm,
Now is the time where we should be reinforcing the whole concept of multiple streams of income. And it's not as difficult as people think. It's just taking a little step every day. And obviously, you and I could help anybody who may be interested in that. But
yes.
if not, there's so much online. Guys, get out there and have a look, because you have to have multiple streams of income. And it doesn't mean that you have to have millions of hours working to get that. It's just working wisely. Tracy, I don't know whether you were the same as me, but earning the big salary, I didn't put away like I should have. You know, I wasn't wise with my finances. I've heard you say, if only we bought Bitcoins in 2012 or whatever, but we didn't. We didn't know about it, but we do today. And today will make a difference for our future.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, I just know that there's nothing to fear, you know, you just have to do it. And in terms of the multiple, you know, when people talk about, but multiple income streams, what does that mean? Do I have to earn a lot of money? Do I have to put a lot of effort in? You know, there are ways of actually doing stuff and doing stuff smartly so that you earn a little bit from everything, you know, because those little bits, you know, whether it's a $10 here, $100 there, you know, all these little bits actually add up. And that's what you need to think about. You know, is it going to pay for my, and if you think, okay, fine, I got $100 the other day, and with that $100 in South African terms, it could have definitely paid for groceries for more than a week.
Yeah.
And I got that from one income stream, income stream, and it was my weekly payments that just keep coming in, you know, and I've got more of that happening. So if you just think about that, or you think about, and this can actually be a meal, or this can be pay my electricity bill, or this can, and that's the stuff that actually makes the difference. It's not the people who are making the millions. It's the people that are making the little bits of money that are coming in from all different income streams. So that, and also making wise decisions. I mean, we are talking about Bitcoin. We know that the price is going up. We don't know when it's going up, but the experts are saying it's on its way up, and it's been pretty stable over the last couple of months. But I'm telling you, it's going up, and I am going to be putting money into Bitcoin because I want to know that in a year's time, I'm going to be smiling a different smile.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I know that we're going to discuss Bitcoin a little bit later. Just remind me to give the example of what happened in 2013. We don't want to forget giving that example, and how would it apply today, you know, in accumulating Bitcoins.
Okay. So Merv, here we are. You know, we've got lots of situations that people are living with, that women are living with, you know, the whole financial thing. So, you know, there are ways to kind of deal with stress, and you've got an awesome way to do it.
Yes, actually, I wish I could take all the credit, but I can't. Obviously, everything that I'm going to talk about today, I've learned. And that's just the way of life, right? So what I'm doing is I'm going to, for this week, just take out a small portion of a lecture by Dr. Brian Ullman, who is quite an incredible person, and he lives in America. Okay. So the point of the exercise is that whatever we do, my desire is, or my heartbeat is that it should be a natural process, and it should be brought down to the essence of what it is, so that we can get a shortcut, and we should be able to pick these new practices or whatever into what we're already doing. Otherwise, they just don't work. Or we'll do them for a while and then give them up. So what I'm going to talk about today is something that we already do. We already breathe, right? So the first step of this exercise is to accept your breathing as it is, right here and right now, okay? Whether it's shallow breath, whether it's a big deep breath, whether it's from your belly or your throat, it doesn't actually matter. You've heard people say, well, breathe in, count to 4, hold for 4, let go for 4, etc. No, none of that. Just accept your breathing as it is right now. Doesn't matter if you've got a cold and you can't breathe properly. It does not matter. Just accept it as it is. Sort of like the stars in the sky, you can't change them. They just are. So just accept your breath that way. The second thing is, and this is where the magic's going to start to happen, right? Is when you breathe in, just like normal. On your exhale, when you breathe out, say your name to yourself. okay? Whether it's your first name or your middle name or your first and middle name, whether it's just do it playfully, whether it's your nickname, it really doesn't matter. Does that make sense, Tracy?
Yes, it does, and I'm doing it right now. It's quite therapeutic.
It's incredibly therapeutic, and it's quite simple. So you breathe in, and as you breathe out, say your name. Do this for like 5 or 10 breaths. If you're in a state that you really need to just get a hold of yourself, so to speak, just do this 10 deep breaths. You've heard 10 deep breaths. Well, I'm saying take 10 breaths, and on your exhale, just say your name. And you'll find that it's incredibly soothing and calming. So what they say is, if you could manage to do this simple thing, you already breathe, right? I don't know anybody who doesn't breathe that is still walking. So we all breathe. So on your exhales, if you could do that for 5 minutes, you'll probably find that it's the most relaxed you've ever been. It's quite incredible. And it's probably the deepest meditation that you've ever experienced, or that you probably go deeper than any of the other mind, body, imagery, relaxation techniques that we've learned, self-hypnosis or mindfulness techniques, etc. It's just a simple process. Breathe in, breathe out. As you breathe out, just say your name and mix it up. Remember, it could be your nickname. It doesn't matter. It's amazing. And you know why? Because you're amazing. It's your name. No, it's true. It's all about you. There's no mantra. There's no special script. Just as you exhale, say your name.
I just love it.
How'd you like that?
I just love it. And in fact, I'm doing it now and I'm feeling very, very at peace.
Yes. Yeah. Dr. Ullman has learned this from some of the people that he went to in India and whatever. Very well educated, trained man. And he just brings it down to the essence. And that's what we need.
I just love
So
it.
great.
Yeah.
I hope you guys find that very helpful. I do.
Well, I'm definitely going to start doing that from today. I just love that. Awesome.
Yeah, great.
Thanks, Merv.
All right. Pleasure.
Okay, so
what have we got now?
Now we're on to taking things back. And, we need to take back our financial control. And the whole philosophy about Bitcoin is about privacy and freedom. And, what do you think about that, Merv?
It's so true. Our lives are so invaded, really. And we spoke earlier about how we give our power away. And it's not actually just to the men that we have in our life, but to our bosses and whatever. And the philosophy behind Bitcoin is, as you say, is the freedom and the privacy of being able to transact, where nobody can sort of really track you down. That's exciting. It's not controlled by any authority.
Yes. And in actual fact, it doesn't discriminate either. So it doesn't matter who you are, where you are, what age you are, anything. It absolutely does not discriminate. And it actually will give you your power back bit by bit, because that's what we need to do. We need to take back our power. And we need to take back our control, and we need to do it for ourselves. And I think that when you start achieving stuff for yourself, and you're not just getting things on a handout or getting something the easy way, it's such a wonderful sense of accomplishment and achievement that I just think that's what really gets you going and gets your adrenaline going. That you can do this. You can absolutely do this.
It's so true, Tracy. And you know what? Sometimes with people like myself who would like to just have everything perfect right up front, with Bitcoins, you don't have to do that, and you've put up here on the slide bit by bit. And that's what's exciting about Bitcoins. You don't have to have a fortune to make a fortune. That brings to mind what I wanted to mention is that Peter Murray put up some information which was quite shocking. Do you remember what he said about in 2013 that people who had bought $10,000 worth of Bitcoins at the end of the 36-month period would have made, I think it was, what was it, 162 million?
Yes, it was huge numbers. I just know it was huge numbers.
It was huge. So my point is that, and this is another exciting part about a Bitcoin, is you don't need a full Bitcoin. Bit by bit, you can go down 6 decimal places. So if you've got a spare $10, a spare $50, it doesn't matter. You can buy some Bitcoins. And if we are encouraging people to buy now, can you imagine what's going to happen in the future? And we're all expecting the Bitcoin price to skyrocket, right?
Quite right.
Yeah. So it's bit by bit.
All the signs are there that it is going to skyrocket. It is there, you know. There's the fact that the creation of Bitcoin is going to be halved by the middle of this year. The fact that more and more people are opening Bitcoin wallets. The fact that more and more companies are starting to take Bitcoin as a payment method. The fact that governments and big companies are involved and putting a lot of money behind Bitcoin technology. I mean, the Bitcoin technology, which is actually called the blockchain. And you can't do the blockchain without Bitcoin. So, you know, there are just so many things that are happening. All the signs are there. So it's about taking action. But, you know, Merv, you know what I've been thinking about this week? And I have my 3 little grandchildren. One is just a week old. And what I want to do is I want to give them each $100 and stash it away for them, because that $100 can be worth a fortune, you know, in the next 5, 10, 15 years, 20 years. Just imagine, you know, that I've left a legacy for these little souls, and all I've put in is $100. Yes, obviously, if I can add to it every month, I will do so. But here is a way where you can capitalize on, you know, if you're in a third world country, and in fact, you don't even have to be in a third world country. I mean, the dollar is and the pound and the euro are also devaluing. Yet the Bitcoin price is going up because it's capped. You know, it's capped at 21 million Bitcoin, and we're just not going to get any more. So the price is going to go up, and we know it. We know it. So you know what I was saying earlier about wishing that somebody had guided me, and somebody who had maybe been and walked the path that I'd walked, you know, being on my own, having a good job, earning big money, but having responsibility of children, making a few wrong decisions here and there. I wish I had been told. And I feel as though I'm telling people, please, you know, do this. So you know, take this leap of faith. Take this leap of faith and just do it.
Yeah. No, you're right, Tracy. And I just want to get back to being able to start from a very small base. Whether it's 10, 20, 30, 50, $100, it doesn't matter. We can find that in our budgets. We could stop having a couple of cappuccinos or whatever and just start where you're at. Just start. I love the idea of putting money away for the grandchildren, etc. And if we took the same scenario as I spoke about earlier, that $100 would possibly be worth $16,000 in the same term. So, Tracy, it is. We've been given the opportunity to realize what Bitcoins can do for us. You and I are both saving with them. We both have some investments going. There's just so many opportunities, and we're spending them. And we're loving spending them.
Yeah, easy. Well, actually, my Bitcoin paid for my trip up here to Dubai, and so and a whole lot of other stuff. But I also just the other thing, you know, while we're talking about the children and our grandchildren, we also need to look after our futures. You know, we are getting a bit long in the tooth, and you know, we definitely do want to retire well. And I know so many people that have got money that is, either they've got their retirement plan in these big financial institutions. Well, I've got money there too, and I'm cursing like crazy because I just wish I could get it out, because I know I could do with a better job. And it's not knocking the financial institution, but it's just knocking the fact that the economy is really shocking. And I would like to just take all that money and put it into Bitcoin, and I would do exactly that if I could get hold of it. But I can't get hold of it, so I'm stuck with this money this year that is not going to actually grow. And that's a big worry for me. But now imagine if I didn't have Bitcoin, where would I be just relying on that money? And there are so many people in that position. So if you are coming up to retirement, or if you are even retired and you don't and you want to make sure that you've got enough for the future, because let's put it this way: costs continually go up, everything continually goes up. And we need to make sure that we are not having to have our children look after us. I don't want that to happen. I really don't. So this is the reason why I'm so excited with Bitcoin, because as you said, you can do it bit by bit, and there's just, such huge opportunity out there, and we just have to do it. That's all I say. We must just do it.
Yeah. Tracy, so for people who don't know anything about Bitcoins, how do they get a wallet? How do they join, etc.? I believe that we actually do have some videos and things on that. Will you just give them a link or where they can find that information?
Yes, we'll put a link at the bottom of this video, and also what we'll do is we'll add the link to our Facebook page, and we want to invite people to add their friends, and you know what, guys can even listen to these webinars that we're going to have every week, because you know what, there's so many guys who want to know what women want, so I think it's a good idea if they do. And I also, just talking about men, I just want to say that this program is not about not wanting men in our lives. We absolutely do. We love guys. We love men. And we love our boys. So we certainly don't want to say that we don't want men in our lives. And we do love the protection that they give us. We really do. However, as Susan B. Anthony says in this quote, you need to protect yourself. You have to protect yourself. And, it is financially. So best you get going. And, you can, whoever's watching this and wants to chat to us, leave messages on our Facebook page, and also comments below this video. And, we'll chat. We'll that's what we want to do. We want to empower. We want to encourage. We want to enrich. And one of the things is very important is we want to enjoy.
Yes, absolutely.
So let's start having fun and start making money.
Woohoo! Yes, absolutely.
Thank you very much. Do you have any last words to say?
No, just remember, say your name on your breath out and buy bit by bit.
Yeah, I love that.
Excellent, Tracy. Thanks so much for the time. I've enjoyed this.
Thank you, Merv. Thank you. I'll see you next week.
Cheers, Trace.